your throne gone down, gone down. Babylon, your throne gone down. Join in.
I and I sit on the mountain top, ooh yeah, and watch your Babylon falling. I and I sit on the mountain top, I say, and watch your Babylon falling. Every move Babylon make is a wrong move, I say. That's why Babylon falling. No discipline in Babylon.
I'm Sister Benji Wimana, and I'm from the community, a Rastafarian, and I have also worked with a local radio program, Omega FM 104.1, and we do a program called Rastafari. And it was through doing this that we actually came upon the Coral Gardens issues and decided that, this was really important for everyone to know about. And it was really surprising that many people, even Jamaicans, who were listeners, they had no clue that this went on. We had to prove it to them. They were like, no, I live in Jamaica, so I know that's rubbish. And people were absolutely amazed that this was something that was so quietly kept. So now we're going to blaze it out, and that's the idea of today. Because from now on, everyone's going to know about Coral Gardens, everyone's going to know about the cause, and that's it. So we give thanks and praise, and go straight into our libation. So, Ascala Maria.
The libation is to acknowledge the name of those people who have gone before us. Also, there's a lot of people who have gone before us and we have no clue about because their names didn't come down to us through history. But yet still they play a very significant part in our development and in our liberation.
Babylon falling.
When we started working on this, we didn't start out doing a film, actually. I was writing a book about violence in Jamaica, and I wanted to have a chapter be on state violence against Rastafari. And I read about the commemoration that the community does in Western Jamaica every year, and so I went down with Junior. The first commemoration we went to was 2007. And after that commemoration, we were following up with a few of the elders who we had spoken with at that time, because I had heard about Coral Gardens, Junior had not. But I had heard about it, but only like brief mentions in a couple of different history books. And those books only use the newspaper sources for the event. And so I was interested in finding out more directly, firsthand from people who went through it, what actually happened, what had happened to precipitate the government crackdown on Rastafari, but also, what the various stories were of that time. Anyway, so we went back to visit with some of the elders that we had spoken with in 2007 at the commemoration, and I was asking one of them if he would retrace his steps from those days. Like, I had heard his story several times, so I wanted to walk through the landscape with him and see, this is where they chained me to the next man. This is where the neighbors came for me. This is where I was taken into the back of the truck. This is where I was taken to the police station, that kind of thing, just to, as we walked through the landscape, to see what else would come up in the story, right? Anyway, he said, sure, I would love to do that, but wouldn't it be better to do it on film? And I said, well, yeah. And so that's how this whole project started. And Junior Manning we had met on a variety of occasions, and I spoke to him about doing it. He called me because he knew we were filming, and so he really is the one. This has been his life mission and his dream, really, to bring greater awareness about what happened at Coral Gardens, and also to start a reparations case, to try to get the government to acknowledge and apologize for what happened in those days in 1963. He unfortunately passed before the film was finished, but Ivy, who couldn't be here with us today, but will be in South Africa with us, is the person who took on the leadership of the Coral Gardens Committee after Junior Manning passed, and so we've been working with him to publicize as we go and show the film around different places.
Every move Babylon make is a wrong move, I say. Babylon and home. Don't you see? Rastaman calling.
When I'm alone, I see judges thinking of a song when I can't play. I wish I was home to be in judges, but there's no need to worry, 'cause I'll be there someday. 'Cause I live in Africa, oh Africa, yeah. And if you say that you are real Rasta, Africa, yeah. And I live in Africa, oh Africa, yeah. And if you say that you are real Rasta, Africa,
If it wasn't for the film, the screening today, the I wouldn't be here making them Sunday, right? And making the world who is here, yes, so know, so there's more to it. Know about the deeper atrocities. You get what I'm saying? So it's all within the works. So don't feel away it's a fight. It's not a fight, but it's a highlight.
Friend that I grew up with and other younger members of the movement of Rastafari who weren't aware of this kind of atrocity, they operate with a whole different kind of attitude now. The knowledge that this went on equipped them in a whole different kind of way.
Right? There's nothing overly profound about what we did. We just listened and tried to capture the story. It's a very simple process. But I think part of what it demands is folks recognizing the legitimacy of people's ideas about the path they had to withstand. And I think part of what I hope this film models for other individuals is a sense that if you listen to people tell their stories, it's intrinsically powerful. But you got to be willing, I think, one, to listen, to take it seriously, too, and then to recognize once you put that thing on camera, once you let people speak for themselves, the story, I think, can also galvanize other individuals to think about their own histories, their own plight in different kinds of ways.
The Coral Garden campaign is thinking along those lines in terms of compensation, because I agree. It's all very well to say that you're sorry. Anybody can say they're sorry, right? But, you know, we got to talk about what kind of compensation is going to be given to these victims. Are they working around those lines? That's what I'd like to know in terms of specifically on the campaign. And thank you again for the promotion.
I mean, I think the reparations fight is a very important one, and it also raises a lot of questions. So one of the discussions that happened when the public defender came to take sworn testimony from the others was, you know, what do we envision reparations could be for the community, right? Because when a government pays out reparations, it pays out to individuals, which is why they have to document, you know, find people's names in ledgers, etc., etc. So I think, you know, that has been a question, right? Is how does a community think about what it might do with money coming into the community that's coming in through individuals?
The Rastafari was slaughtered, and Jamaican government over the years have kept it a secret. It's a secret. That's why people don't know about it. It's not only that, it's deliberate, because they have called a massacre of hundreds of Rastafari around the 14 parishes.
More people are coming forward willingly and giving them their testimony. Witnesses, other police, you know, are now talking about this. So to me, it's something that's sort of become more of a national conversation. And even in the march this year, right, people are now starting to link it to other moments of state violence. So one of the things that happened in the march this year was that people were connecting what happened in Tivoli in 2010 with what happened in Coral Gardens in 1963. And I think those are the links that we really have to make.
No sister nor Christian sister. Them beat Bangladesh, wash after and get in trouble, wash him locks, take him to doctor. And our daughter come there enough time to go and cut off the bridge, come back and head 60 a day with a locks. And after, and when those sisters leave and go one of the day, the daughter put there and cut off the bridge locks, and the bridge a couple months and the bridge pass off. You see, I don't play people don't love Rasta, I don't say so. I don't play people in a report to Rasta, I don't play people on them thing there. Because I see these things have to be breakthrough. One family. Your family come from the line, don't love it to these things. Go in there and cut out the bridging, come about 60 and you water left and the bridging. When I go and check the bridging, I tell the man, that's painful, man. I tell you.
Righteous warriors are come. Them a come, them a come, them a come. The righteous warriors are come. Them coming, yeah. Them coming, yeah. Warriors coming from the east. Warriors coming from the west. Them coming from the north and south. They're coming from all around. Say them a come to centralize. In this your Irish and vibes. Figure mash down the enemy and set them free. From I wanna fight against Rasta. So we don't want them on ya. No, we don't want them among we. So we are gonna put them in a hurry. Righteous warriors are fight. Uphold judge truth and right. They're fighting for the one unity. One love and harmony. Say them a fight for righteousness.